वेलकम टू यूपीएससी एक्सप्रेस सीरीज बाय VicThree IAS। मैं हूं अनमोल शर्मा और इस वीडियो में हम कंप्लीट टॉपिक कवर करेंगे एक ही शॉट में। दिस विल बी अ क्विक एंड फोकस्ड लेसन विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम। वीडियो के एंड तक यू विल हैव कंप्लीट कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी एंड एवरीथिंग यू नीड about the topic for the exam. वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में you can find the complete notes of the topic and watch this video along with the notes. Also join the Telegram channel of VicThree IAS for schedule, notes and other study material. Subscribe to the channel and follow us on Instagram. तो चलो शुरू करते हैं।
So today we'll be talking about early medieval dynasties. पुष्यभूतिज ऑफ थानेश्वर हमने पिछले टॉपिक में बात किया था। हर्षवर्धन वाज द ग्रेटेस्ट रूलर। आफ्टर हिज डेथ एक डिक्लाइन आया पुष्यभूतिज ऑफ थानेश्वर की डायनेस्टी में एंड that saw the coming of three big powers in India, that is the Gujara Pratiharas, the Palas and Rashtrakutas. तो ये तीन डायनेस्टीज थी जो हर्षवर्धन की डायनेस्टी के बाद आई। All right, now we'll discuss about them. So first we'll talk about Gujara Pratihara dynasty. Gujara Pratiharas that ruled between 6th century to 11th century AD. So this was the area of Gujara Pratiharas that was mainly in the North India. North Indian Empire tha Gujara Pratiharas and it extended from the western part to the eastern part. More dominant in the western part. And these Gujara Pratiharas, they were एन इम्पॉर्टेंट डायनेस्टी क्योंकि इन्होंने जो नॉर्थ वेस्ट से अब अरब डायनेस्टीज या अरब इन्वेजन हो रहे थे उसके अगेंस्ट दे वर फाइटिंग एंड दे वर रिपेलिंग द अरब इन्वेजन्स। Earlier their capital was Ujjain, later they shifted it to Kannauj. So Kannauj is here. So they shifted the capital from Ujjain to Kannauj. We'll study about it in the tripartite struggle कि क्या था tripartite struggle और under Pushyabhutis of Thanesar, we studied that Kannauj became the most important city of medieval India. तो हम उस बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे। So Pratiharas के important rulers are Nagabhatta, Nagabhatta I, वत्सराजा के बारे में हम tripartite struggle में पढ़ेंगे। Mihir Bhoja is considered to be one of the greatest Gujar Pratihara ruler. And talking about the administration, the empire was divided into Bhukti or the province. It was further divided into mandalas or districts and then came the villages. And यहाँ पे भी just as we saw हर्षवर्धन के empire में samantas or fiduciaries, that means जो vassals होते हैं, vassals or fiduciaries, they were important. That means कि direct control नहीं था over the whole empire. The empire was divided into certain autonomous or semi-autonomous units जहाँ पे उनके जो dominant landlords थे, they had certain autonomy to run the area according to their wish. So this was the Samanta system. And one thing to note down here is that the agriculture was feudal in nature because of the land grants and the Samanta system. So feudal means that a big ruler, he has certain pockets of land, उसके empire को उसने divide कर रखा है in certain land pockets जहाँ पे local leaders हैं या फिर से local जमींदार हैं जो कि सारा रोल प्ले करते हैं from the tax collection to running justice or law and order maintain करना to taking care of the agriculture. तो और ये जो लोकल जमींदार या लोकल लीडर है he pays tribute to the king. तो king का डायरेक्ट रोल नहीं होता in these areas. लोकल जमींदार और लोकल leaders play an important role but they are still subordinate to the king. So this was the feudal system and hence there was an element of decentralization. Another important point was there was a decline in ट्रेड, क्योंकि अब क्या है, एक पैन इंडिया बहुत बड़ा एम्पायर नहीं है, जैसे कि हर्षा का भी बहुत बड़ा एम्पायर था, अब छोटे छोटे डायनेस्टीज हैं एंड ईच ऑफ देम आर फाइटिंग विद ईच अदर, तो जो एक लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस ट्रेड होता था वो डिसरप्ट हो गया है, तो देयर वाज अ डिक्लाइन इन ट्रेड एंड इट इज विजिबल फ्रॉम कॉपर कॉइन्स। अब गोल्ड कॉइन से ज्यादा कॉपर कॉइन्स डोमिनेट होते हैं और इससे हिस्टोरियंस ये कंक्लूड करते हैं कि ट्रेड डिक्लाइन हुआ है। ऑलराइट, सो दिस वाज अबाउट गुजर प्रतिहारा किंगडम एंड इवेंचुअली अरब इन्वेजन्स के बाद वी नो कि महमूद गजनी आया था, तो गजनविड इन्वेजन्स की वजह से complete collapse of Gujra Pratiharas in the 11th century. Right, now we move on to the second dynasty, that is Palas. So Palas ruled from 750 to 1150 AD, and as we can see their empire was centered around Bengal and Bihar mainly, but extended up to the northwest of India. Alright, so their empire centered around Bengal and Bihar majorly. Their capital was Munger in Bihar. So Bihar, Munger was their capital, and Palas followed Mahayana and Tantric Buddhism. So Mahayana and Tantric Buddhism was followed by the rulers of Pala dynasty. And talking about the rulers, Gopala was the founder of Pala dynasty, but the most important ruler is Dharmpal. He founded the Vikramshila University and Udentipuri University. So Vikramshila University and another Udentipuri University was founded by Dharmpala. Important fact for the exam. And he further expanded the empire, and Mahipal was the last influential king of Pala dynasty. And here also we could see the trade. When we talk about the economy, the trade was on the decline and copper coins were dominant, और इनकी जो economy थी that was based on agriculture only, agrarian economy. Trade was declining, right? And more factual details about Pala dynasty can be found in the notes in the description box. All right, but yehi important points about the Palas, where they were situated, what is the capital, what the religion they followed, and what are the some of the influential rulers of that empire. And now we'll talk about the third dynasty, the Rashtrakutas. So the Rashtrakutas, they ruled from 8th to 10th century, and you can see their area of influence. It was basically in the central India. An important point is Rashtrakutas were feudatories, feudatories of Chalukyas. Chalukyas we studied Pulakesi 2 previous topic mein, so they were feudatories, and I talked about feudatories that they were like the autonomous landlords of their area and used to send tribute, or they were subordinate to the Chalukyas. But later, with the fall of Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas became influential and created their own independent empire. And Rashtrakutas को सबसे one of the strongest empires of Central Asia माना जाता था. And capital Rashtrakutas की थी मान्यखेता में. मान्यखेता was the capital of Rashtrakuta empire. कोई भी empire की हम बात कर रहे हैं उसकी capital याद करना जरूरी है, direct question आ जाता है. And talking about their administration, ये एक highly centralized kingdom था, unlike the two हमने जो जिसकी बात ऊपर की, like the Pratiharas and Palas, it was a centralized empire. और notable rulers की बात करें, so Danti Durga was the founder of Rashtrakutas and he founded it, breaking it away from Chalukyas. Chalukya empire के decline के बाद या टूटने के बाद he overthrew them and Danti Durga formed Rashtrakuta empire. Next important is Krishna I. ये important क्यों है? Because he built the Kailashnath temple of Ellora caves. बहुत important temple है Kailashnath temple that was built during the Rashtrakutas and specifically under Krishna I. Right? So ये Kailashnath temple है and it is created from a single piece of rock and was created from top down. जैसे कि एक पूरा piece of rock था, उसको ऊपर से खोद खोद के कार्व कर करके ये पूरा टेम्पल बनाया गया है. एंड आज भी हिस्टोरियंस अराउंड द वर्ल्ड वंडर कि ये कैसे बना है, क्योंकि इतना जो स्टोन निकला फ्रॉम द कार्विंग ऑफ द रॉक वो कहाँ गया, क्योंकि आसपास कहीं पूरी चट्टान मतलब पूरी माउंटेन जितना एक स्टोन कहीं पे भी मिला नहीं गया। एंड इतनी इंट्रिकेट डिटेल्स है, इतना परफेक्ट कार्विंग है उस टाइम के हिसाब से, कार्विंग इट फ्रॉम सिंगल पीस ऑफ रॉक। ये पूरा एक पहाड़ का पार्ट था जो कि ऊपर से कार्व कर करके उस टाइम आर्टिस्ट्स ने या आर्टिसंस ने टेम्पल क्रिएट किया है। सो दैट वाज ड्यूरिंग Rashtrakutas, Kailashnath Temple of Ellora Caves. All right. And the last notable ruler was Amogvarsha. He was also called Ashoka of South. So this question can come, which ruler was called Ashoka of the South? That was Amogvarsha of Rashtrakutas. All right. More details you can find in the notes in the description box. And जो Rashtrakutas थे, they patronized both संस्कृत लैंग्वेज को प्रमोट करते थे एंड कन्नड़ा. सो कन्नड़ा लिटरेचर सॉ its development during Rashtrakutas. And Ellora caves and cave temples started during or were patronized by Rashtrakutas. So this was about the three dynasties. We'll talk about the tripartite struggle now. So the tripartite struggle was basically for one major city, that was Kannauj. I told you, हमने पहले बात की कि Kannauj became one of the most important cities of north in during the medieval times, and ये struggle था between Gujar Pratihāras, Rashtrakutas and Palas. And you as you can see इन तीनों के जो dynasty है ये overlap कर रहे हैं and it's coming to Kannauj, and that is what the struggle was. Kannauj में अपना influence बढ़ाना या कन्नौज को control करना. So basically after the fall of Harsha in 647 एक power vacuum create हो गया था, and these three dynasties as we just discussed, they wanted to extend their control over Kannauj. But now the question is why Kannauj? Kannauj इतना important क्यों है कि ये तीनों dynasties उसके लिए लड़ रहे हैं? So basically Kannauj was situated on the Ganga trade route. तो गंगा ट्रेड रूट था, बहुत प्रॉस्परस था इकोनॉमिकली, ट्रेड एक्टिविटीज वर गोइंग ऑन. नंबर टू, इट वाज strategic in nature. The location was strategic along Ganga trade route. Transportation was easy, and it was well protected from all the sides by heavy forests and the rivers. And it was a economic hub, as we discussed कि trade route पे था तो economic hub create हो गया था कन्नौज में, and other factors like fertile land and everything. So these three kingdoms were in constant warfare with each other. कभी किसी kingdom ने कन्नौज को control किया तो कभी किसी kingdom ने उसको overthrow करके control किया, and this went on for a long time, right? And there are many minute details like Vatsaraja, the king we talked about of Gujra Pratihara, he defeated Rashtrakutan king Dhruva. Then Nagabhatta II took over Kannauj. Then Bhoja, one of Gujra Pratihara, he fought against the Rashtrakuta. So there was a tripartite struggle for a long time. You need to know, the question can be directly asked, what were the three kingdoms involved in the tripartite struggle? And the final blow was when Mahmud Ghazni, he invaded from the northwest or central Asia. He controlled Kannauj, and that ended the tripartite struggle. तब फिर महमूद गजनी कंट्रोल कन्नौज और ये सब empires decline हो गए थे. All right, so this was all about tripartite struggle and about the early medieval